Lift off and the clock has started.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
4.
It is Friday, the 16th
3.
July, halfway through another month.
2.
What will the next 6 months bring us? What is the future?
1.
Can you predict?
Go.
Freedom Day on Monday! But is it free? Or will we have to pay? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Vobes One-Eyed Kenobi Showbie with me, Richard Vobes, and you... yes, I think I've got the wrong didgeridoo up there. Hang on one moment, please. Bing! Ha! Look, I feel quite naked now. Bong! As if by magic, the correct thing appeared. Yes, it's the Vobes Show on the 16th of July, 2021. I'm Richard Vobes, and you can call us on 0793 4746 it is Friday, the end of another hot week. I've been in my van trying to make little... what would you call them? Conversions. I've converted it from a pseudo camper van into a pseudo camper van. But what have you been doing this week? Be interested to know, because I'm a nosy bugger. Yes, the lovely Julia may or may not be joining us a little later on. She's on her own and struggling with 2 children who are very hot and bothered, and running around causing her a lot of mishap at the moment, which is a bit of a shame. We will hopefully talk to her a little bit later on. I am hoping that you will help me out in today's show. We have 2 videos in today's show. One from Colonel Craig Ratty, which is very kind of you to send it in, and Sean Ford. If you have sent a video, and I've got this weird sneaky feeling that somebody has sent a video that I have not got in the playlist. So if you're not one of those 2 and you've sent one in, I've obviously lost it or forgotten about it. Do let me know. I would like to know, because sometimes that happens, and then after the show I go, oh, botheration, 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 botheration. Oh, you a botheration. Anyway, so do let me know. Meanwhile, let's find out if there's anybody out there in the Vobosphere watching the show. And I understand that 54 people have already turned up, which is very nice. Take your seats. It's like a mini theatre, this. If you were doing a sort of little art centre somewhere, a little provincial town or village or something, and 50-odd people turned up, 57 in fact, you'd be quite happy. You would see the audience and people coming through the back, opening the curtains and stepping inside saying, is it in here? What kind of show is it? I don't normally come to the theatre, but I thought I'd give it a whirl this evening, only it's just a bit lonely sitting on my own in my house without anybody around, and I thought I'd come out. But I don't know, is it a murder mystery? No, it's not. It's the Vobes show. Oh, the Vobes? It sounds very nice. What kind of show is it? Is it a murder mystery? No, just ask that. It's not a murder mystery. Oh, I do like murder mysteries, you know. It's not a murder mystery. No, of course it's not a murder mystery. I'm just saying that I wish it was a murder mystery. I like to guess who murdered it. Even if we see who it is in the first few moments, I always put my hands over my face and put cotton wool in my ears so I could guess throughout the show. The last time I got thrown out of the theatre, that's because I kept saying, it's him! It's him! And they were there in front of me about 30 feet away, and I kept saying, it's him! He's the one who did. We saw it at the beginning. He did it. No one was looking. But all of us, didn't we? And the audience was scowling at me. We all saw him doing the murder. He got the knife and he guzzled the poor woman to death. And she died in a horrific way. And then when the curtains opened, she was gone. The weird thing was I didn't hear an ambulance, and there was no police. Nobody asked any questions. We were all here. We could have sifted. We said we saw him. And in fact, there's a bloke up there in what they call the gods. He's got a video camera. He's probably got it. And if you check the theatre's CCTV, you probably find that she's being hurried into a van and driven off. And same with the murder. And so I don't understand. Anyway, that's why I got thrown out. Yes, well, would you mind now just sitting quietly and watching the show? Is it a murder mystery? No! It's not a murder mystery, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday the 16th of July 2021, and I am completely off my trolley. But don't worry. I've been out in the sun, you see, in a very hot black tin box. By the way, you may have noticed I'm all themed up with the Bald Explorer. If I turn around and speak, you can't really hear me. Yes, in the library with a candlestick. Sounds like a Punch and Judy show. It's true. That's the way to do it. Marvellous. Well, let's have a look and see who's out there. I should just put the control room on, just in case the lovely Julia should turn up at any point. It's always nice to know she's there. Tonight's show is fueled by a mug of hot tea. Hot tea by dropping one's H's, don't you know. First in was Colonel Cragratty this evening, followed by the Green Man. Joanna Jones came in, and then Alison O'Brien, who said, good evening all. What a lovely day it is today. Am I right in thinking it's the hottest day so far this year? Lord Geoffrey Harrison says it's been lovely down here all day. What's it been like where you are? I think she just said it was nice. Oh, no, that was Alison, no, what's her name? Jackie HW says, Rich and Julia, hi. I am here, but I'm not here. I'm only here in the future because I'm going to put my groceries and stuff and do the dinner, and I'll be watching the repeat. So I'm actually here just watching in the future, or is that in the past? Well, she'll be watching in the future because it will be past by the time we've recorded. Anyway, Tall Podge Rog is out there in Guildford saying hello, which is nice. Colonel Cragratty, I've already said, so you don't get extra points for that. Anna Jones, David Watkins, Audrey Forbes Hamilton. Lovely to see you. Emily Champion is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Note to the wise. Never know quite what that means. Note to the wise. What does that mean? Note these expressions. Note to the wise. Are you, or is it's a word to the wise, isn't it? Yeah, a word to the wise. So you're telling somebody who is already wise something. Well, if they were wise, they would already know, wouldn't they? How does that work? Anybody know? Can you explain it? Word to the wise. Anyway, a note to the wise, in this occasion, on the 28th of this month, the lovely Emily Champion will be live in the studio. Whether she remains alive by the end of the show, who knows? Because this show is unpredictable. Even I have no idea what's happening after I've drawn the next breath. Could be anything. Could have a phone call on 0793 4746 790. Could accidentally press a button and play a video by mistake. But that has happened. Anyway, we also have Kerry Baldwin is out there. Daniel Watkins, I think I've already mentioned. Simon, help people. Oh, sorry, hello people. I don't know why I said help people. Nice to see you there, Simon. And we also have Andy the Collector. I know, I'm sure I've asked you before, what do you collect? Rubbish. What? You collect rubbish? We all collect a lot of rubbish, don't we? But I'm sure what you collect is much more interesting than rubbish. Darren Howell is also sitting there comfortably waiting for the show to begin. Mark Burgess, Sean Buttermer, Clive Roberts has got his popcorn ready, which is fantastic. Billabong O'Neill, thank you so much for that very lovely donation that you sent in. That's very kind of you. You're a star and a scholar. Big thumbs up comes out to you. Henry of Ashincourt. Aha, the two fingers. Yes, the old two-finger salute. Good for you, mate. Good to see you. Ernie Samat says, evening, Richard and Julia. Are the cows still in the field? Are they still there, or have they moved on to pastures new? Be interested. David Vad is saying, are we there yet? No, I'm afraid we have not yet arrived at our destination. And Mark Burgess is, what's with the staff uniform? Yes, this is, I am wearing the staff's uniform, so they know. One of the technicians, not Eric, he's up there sleeping on a sandbag. No, it wasn't Eric. One of the technicians who's supposed to get everything ready, warm up the valves and that sort of malarkey, make sure the crystal set is tuned in to the right frequency so that we can broadcast to the tube of views, was ill. And sadly, yes, ill. He lost his neck. He had his head and he had his body, but his neck had gone missing. It's very disconcerting looking at somebody with space between the shoulders and the chin. It's very odd. But anyway, he said he wasn't feeling himself, and I thought, well, that might be true if you'd lost your hands, but he had only lost his neck. But anyway, he's not here, so I'm standing in for him. I've had to go and do all the tuning fork stuff. Ron Langley, Andrew Norris, Joanna Jones, and G. Ramps, good evening to you. Dan Harris, Ian Dance. We have the Lord Geoffrey Harrison. I may not have mentioned that. He had a medical today, an MOT, and they put drops in my eyes. So I've been indoors all day. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Bit of dropsy. Everybody loves a bit of dropsy, don't they? Joanna Jones is laughing her socks off, which is good. Anne Wright is in the library with the candlestick. And Elaine Whitelock says, hello, everybody. I'm a bit late, but don't let that worry you. The Julia Hartley is out. The lovely Julia Hartley. I told you that he meant the other day. He meant what the other day? Yes. And Rachel T.S., Daily Walker, John B., The Case of the Invisible Neck. Yes, that's a case for Sherlock Holmes. Elementary, my dear Watson. You can't get it down the elementary if you don't have a neck. So you do need to put that. No good for those that like to stop when you've had an accident at the side of a motorway. If they haven't got a neck, they can't do the rubber, can they? So that's no good. Paul Cockrell is also there, and I may have missed a few. If you've been missed out, please, Dan Harris, please write your name on the back of a £20 note and send it to me. Colonel Craig Reddy says, does little Eric have a staff top uniform? That's a good question. I haven't seen him in about 30 years. You see, he's always in a darkened room. I imagine he's got some old dark sack, probably some, what is it that you, Hessian sackcloth, a hair shirt. Ron Langley is saying that we've got a week of catch-ups of the Bald Explorer videos. Our friend has just got home after a week here with us in lovely Alnwick, and as a result of that, you've not been watching the Bald Explorer you might find it a bit dull and boring. It's just me boring into the side of my van with a gimlet, mostly, trying to improve it. Eric is a backroom boy, says John B. Absolutely right. He's certainly backward. Back room. He's backward in the back room. Are you allowed to say that someone's backward anymore? Is that not a thing? I mean, you know, you're not allowed to call somebody stupid. You're stupid, you are. But can you say, oh, he's a bit backward? Not backward when it comes coming full, whatever the expression was. I'm backward when it comes to coming. I can't think of it. Anyway, not to worry. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have two videos. One of Colonel Crag Ratty climbing a wall in Cornwall. Well, doing some climbing in Cornwall, probably on a wall. I'm sure he doesn't just go out there and do a ladder routine. And Sean Ford is on Discovery 19, looking for the plough in. But which plough in? Where? And will he find it? We will find out in the video tonight, the live stream tonight. As I say, I've got the best tea in the world, Slurper's tea, as well as an invisible liquid, which is quite invisible, but visible when you can see it. Dan Harris says, I don't have a £20 note. Will a 50 be okay? No, I'm sorry. Can't accept 50. It's far too generous of you. What you'll have to do is chop the 50 in half and then trim the corners off. That should make the equivalent of 20. Backward is not PC. Oh dear, you can't say that. This is interesting. What other things can we not say? And what I want to know is, actually, never mind the words we can't say. Maybe we should have a book, a dictionary of the words we can say, because everything, it seems, that we ever used to say in the past, we can no longer say. And how do we know? Rather than having a list of those things that you can't say and going, oh yes, I can't say, what is it, calling the pot black? You can't say that now, apparently, because of certain connotations. Throwing the bath out with the bath water. I don't know whether you can throw the bath out with the baby and the water. Washing the, the sign of the pub where the mother is washing the baby, trying to... We can't say that anymore. And there are many other things. What was the one that I heard the other day? I think I mentioned it on the show anyway, but doesn't matter. Colonel Crag Ratty says, the Bald Explorer, a ladder, never, except today, getting my gutters sorted. Climbing a ladder. I wonder if when you climb a ladder, you still have to, you just feel that you ought to put all the clutter on you, all that gear, just in case. And when you get to the top, do you abseil down once the gutter is gleaming clean? Gollywogs are not PC, but I have them, says Darren Halwell. I don't know if I'm allowed actually to say that. Robinson's had one of those little toys. I thought they were quite nice, but we're not allowed to say them. Are you allowed to own one, says John B. Probably, by the way, the show has now been cancelled. Thanks very much, Darren. Who said... Darren Howell. If the show gets cancelled because I just read your message out, I'll be after you. There'll be another version of the show called the Vibes Show or something. Anyone remember the ice cream bars back in the 80s? What were they? The Golly ice creams? Don't remember those. Ron Langley says, we have a big golly. I always say, do you still say golly? You know, if you're surprised, oh, golly. I say that. Are we allowed to say that? Do you have to have, but does that golly come from the term which I inadvertently read out, which now is, I'm digging myself a much deeper hole. But hey, that's how I like to hang things. Does the word golly come from that one thing, or is the etymology of golly a different thing that they put them together? Because I love the word golly when you say, phew, golly, look at that. I mean, if somebody's name, Mr. Golly, hello, I'm Mr. Golly, that you couldn't say that's not your name if that was the given name. Did Magic Merlin turn up today with his wavy camera, says Sean James Cameron. Actually, Merlin did magically appear, and he was bearing gifts I can't tell you, I don't want to ruin the video, but it will be out tomorrow. He was bearing gifts. He went to a garage clearance sale. And he came away with some interesting things. But also, I met a very nice person today who I met on a walk a while ago called Ricky. And Ricky has a van. He's doing up his own van. And he had something to drop off to me. Yes, it wasn't a 10-ton weight above my head. No, it was something far more useful. But again, I don't want to give away the excitement of the video, of the ending of the week. There will be a break now from making the van videos so that people can recover from a week of, oh my God, not another bloody one of him in the bloody van making a bloody video about bloody whatever it is he's bloody well bloody doing. Can you stop swearing on the show, please? Too much blood. Otherwise, we'll have to have a transfer. Okay. By golly, you got it, says Mark Burgess. Golly gosh, says Sean Buttimer. The world has gone nuts with a Z, says John B. Yes. Sorry, but plenty of shops sell them. Well, if they're being sold, there's nothing wrong with it. I can't see there's anything wrong with it, personally. Colonel Cragratty says, at the Bald Explorer, I did once climb the roof to remove a TV aerial using climbing gear to tie myself to the chimney stack. Is that after watching Rod Hull and Emu? Was it Rod Hull? Roy Hudd, yeah, Rod Hull. Rod Hull, didn't he? He went up to tune his and I don't know whether Emu popped his or her head out of the chimney at that moment. Poor bugger. Used to love Rod Hull and Emu. He fell off the roof and died. I mean, I think if you're a somewhat comic person, you do need to have a comedy end, because at least you can laugh at the end of it and go, you know, it's sad, but he fell off the roof and he's still leaving you laughing. That's the thing. You know, if you just die in a horrible, old, miserable day, any old of these old comics like Terry Thomas, who had Parkinson's and nobody knew, and he was in this poor ramshackle of a building, and he'd made all these films and he'd made people laugh generations after generations, and they had a miserable time, a miserable death. And if anybody of those old, you know, humorous people died of things like, dementia and things that debilitating ways of going, that's just horrible, because then you feel sad for them. I feel sad for Rod Hull, but he did fall off his roof, which, you know, is partly hilarious. Tommy Cooper died on stage. I remember watching that very thing live when he just suddenly collapsed, and there was this weird moment where you thought, that's not right, but nobody seemed to be panicking, and then in the lineup at the end, the curtain call, he wasn't there, and then later that night it was on the news that he had died. So did Robin Nedwell. Did he fall off his roof? Be careful climbing on your roof. Audrey Forbes says, I watched Richard having an ice cream with Corin today, and he had a nosebleed on camera. When did I have an ice cream? Was that a live show? And I had a nosebleed on camera. I remember I had a few nosebleeds last year, I think. Just a spate of them. And then they just suddenly stopped. I think somebody said it was a heart murmur. Rod Hull left them laughing. He certainly did. Henry V of Ashincourt said you'd think he would have sent the bird up. Yes, but the bird, as we know, the emu was very unresponsive, wasn't it? And probably would have detuned it from Emu TV to something else. Yes, there is footage on YouTube of Tommy Cooper dying on stage, which is a shame, really, that that's on YouTube, because, it was a live thing, so I suppose people will have it. Can you say the dog's you-know-whats these days? I have no qualms about saying that. I don't think there's any problem with it. Tommy Cooper incident has "do not broadcast" written across the videotape box. ITV will never show that episode again. That's fascinating. I mean, that's back in the days of the old VCR, so somebody would have a copy of it, but of course it's not for broadcast. What a shame. Tommy Cooper, says John B., was dead by the time his fez hit the floor. I do remember them saying he died in the ambulance or when he arrived at hospital. But there we go. Oh, says the Veg Grower podcast, Richard in work uniform. Good evening. Yes, I am in work uniform, although not the work uniform. This is my other job's uniform, the Bald Explorer uniform that I was wearing today. I was running out. I was out in my tin box. You know, the very. Oh, hello. Getting some sounds off. Can you hear all that? I think the lovely Julia is here. We can hear a little bit of it. Oh no, she's not quite ready yet. She's coming online, ladies and gentlemen. Coming on stream, as some of them say. Yes, so I haven't got a Vobe show shirt. I need to get a Vobe show shirt. That'll be the next thing. Richard must be off duty on the Works outing today. Yes, we did used to do the Works outing. One year on the Vobe show, we did something. The podcast. I hired a narrow boat for the day on the River Wey, and my wife at the time, whatever children was around, and a friend of mine called Jimmy, and I think that was about it. Maybe one of Jimmy's kids, I'm not sure. And we went on a narrow boat. We called it the Works Day Out. We did record some stuff, and I put it against tax. Which was helpful. Audrey Forbes says, I saw it on TV. He fell through the curtain and there was a snoring noise. People didn't know whether it was part of the act. That's right. It was a very disconcerting moment because you didn't think it was part of the act, but with Tommy Cooper, it could have been. It was horrible seeing Tommy Cooper just like that. It was. And Jamie Boy has arrived, and Tool Pod Rod says, let's do a Vobesy Works outing on the River Wey. We should arrange a trip. If somebody wants to arrange it all and get the subs in to pay for it all, then I'm up for that. I just don't want to get involved in all the hard work in arranging these things because I have enough trouble arranging myself, especially in the mornings. So there we go. River Wey by Guildford, exactly. Just up by the Jolly Farmer. Although it's not called the Jolly Farmer anymore. What is happening when they switch the names of the pubs? There's a pub down in Worthing that for donkey's years was known as the Swan. For some unknown reason, they have changed it to the Amsterdam. It means nothing. Amsterdam? What's that got to do with anything? Is it the Amsterdam? They've changed the name anyway. I think it's Amsterdam. I'm not sure. John B says, did you have one of the captain's hats on when you went on the narrow boat? LOL. I'm hoping that in my ignorance that I didn't. I'm hoping that I didn't, but who knows? There might be photos floating about with me in that captain's hat. You never know. Yes, the Swan and Vesta, says John B. It's a shame. Why have they changed that name? I don't understand it. Pub names should not be allowed to change. They are institutions. They should stay forever. People should not change the names. Unless, of course, there's been a murder. Or some notorious... Maybe there was a murder. Maybe somebody was pushed down into the cellar with the candlestick. Maybe it was the bloke with no neck who couldn't do the rubber necking. Maybe that's what happened. Who knows? Anyway, we have some videos. It's time now to play the first video, and then maybe the lovely Julia will be around. So we're going to start off on a discovery walk with the lovely Sean Ford. He is out and about in search of the Plough Inn. Well, that's interesting. I pressed the button and nothing happened. I pressed the button and nothing... Let's try that again. Go into... Oh, here we go. That's the wrong... Oh, that's... Do you know why? I haven't put them on the system. I haven't actually put them on the other system. I can operate them, but for some reason, I do this every 3 nights a week. I've done this for bloody years. You put them on the system and you press a button and there they go. You give it a nice intro and what happens? It's all a complete and utter cock-up. But don't let that worry you because I can do it in a different way, this way. It's so, Sean, I will do you again. Sean Ford is out in his Discovery Walk number 19 and he is in search of the Plough Inn.
Hello friends, and welcome to my discovery walk number 19. I'm off now to discover another route of getting to the Plough Inn, which is over there in Crowhurst. So this is a new path I'm going to. There's various ways of getting there, and it's on the outer skirts of the famous Coombe Valley. There's another field for the cows to come and have a rest and play. So Coombe Valley is over there, Crowhurst is over there where the crows flying, and Plough Inn, it's been there for quite a while. I haven't gotten much on the history of it. I knew it used to be next door to a post office, or the post office used to be next door to the inn, and I've frequented many a time at the Plough Inn. Not so much the post office, and there is a telephone box there as well. Last time I was there, back in beginning of May. Right. So a lovely crow feather. I've got quite a few of these now. Look at that, it's beautiful. They smell lovely as well. Lovely. So I'm now walking along Buckholt Lane, where I was on a previous discovery walk when I was heading to Barbecue and Animal Sanctuary. I'm going to go up to the top this time. Instead of turning down a path, this is where I now go right, and we'll head towards the Plough Inn. So I've got a map as always, and I thought I got lost, but I've just come through a gate over there. So here's my map, and it's really hard to do upside down or back to front. Goodness knows where I am. Yeah, I'm coming up this path here now. So I'm going all the way up here, and then familiar ground is up here, so the Plough Inn's just up there. The way I came was just through that gate there, so it says about, this must be the path around to get to Crowhurst over there, which should take me to, which is this path along up here. Yes, I think that's right. Keep wanting to stop and just have a look at the view. Coombe Valley right over there. You can see the hill where on one of the videos I did talk about where the sea came in. Hill over there, St Leonard's over there, and then right down here is where we head towards. Well, we go to Crowhurst. The Plough Inn should just be up there. He says knowingly. Well, I'm certainly getting thirsty now. Looking forward to a nice tonic water. So I am over the stream, so I've just got to go up one of these. I don't know which track I'm on, whether on that one or that one. I need to go up to this road, and then there's Plough Inn. I just fell arse over tit in a bit down there where it sort of goes really deep either side. Luckily my camera was held in the air, but I'm a bit caked to bud. I hope they don't turn me away when I get to the Plough Inn. I'm sorry, it's too dirty. Out. Look at that for a view. Well, there you go. Did actually make it. So I'm now here. A nice tonic water. And I was on the right route for my map as well. I did come up the right part, so I came right up into here. Thought it was wrong, but no, it was alright. So here I am. Rather thirsty, rather muddy. So there's the telephone box, now with a defibrillator. And I think the post office used to be up there as well. But Beautiful little inn, and nice little garden area as well. Crowhurst, the first records of Crowhurst is 771, the year 771, where King Offa sold a piece of land here to one of the bishops. And the Romans used to get a lot of iron from here as well, about 2,000 years ago, and used to be shipped out all over the Roman Empire. So yes, very, very old, but very relaxing. You're in a valley here as well, which is absolutely lovely. And the original spelling of Crowhurst is Croghyhrst, and I think it's pronounced Crust, which is trees. Well, thanks for watching me, Sean, on Discovery Walk number 19. See you next time.
How about that there, ladies and gentlemen? He was able to walk out of that pub in a straight line after I looked like 3-4 gin and tonics. Good luck to him. Lovely to see the plough-in and him ploughing into the plough-in a little earlier by diving into the mud. Poor old Sean. But he made it, and that was fantastic, and lots of interesting facts about the pub and all of that too. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Looking forward to the Discovery Walk 20. 20, it's amazing. 19, you've shared them on the show, and we have been enthralled. Fantastic. Lots of lovely comments there, including one from Terry Banton, who says, Richard, can we hear a reprise of the Ferret song? I don't know if I've still got the original Ferret song on the thing. I'll have a look in a minute. But, ladies and gentlemen, live from Lancing, on the other side of what we call the Vobosphere, is the marvellous and very lovely Julia. Let's see if she is there, and I wonder if these buttons will work on the system. They will if I add her to the scene. There she is. Hey, hello, Julia.
Hello, lovely Richard.
How you doing?
Not too bad, thank you. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm in my office clothes today.
I noticed.
Yeah, corporate mode. The fact is that I was looking for shirts, short sleeve shirts, and I realised I don't really have very many of them. I've got plenty of long sleeve ones, and I keep wearing.
Are they all in the wash, are they?
Well, the long sleeve ones. But the short ones, I got like 2 or 3, and I've used most of them. All the buttons have come off. You see the buttons. Excuse me. It's behind you. Not that kind of buttons. And so I figured I probably need to get down to the old charity shop, and get some more. So I was looking around and I thought, I haven't worn that old thing for a while. I'll wear that.
You look smart enough.
Was very smart, but very warm on a hot day in a black tin box.
A black top.
Yes.
I was going to say black top and a black tin box.
Not the best marriage.
Royal wiseness.
Yes, thanks. So, word to the wise. Anybody come up with an answer to why a word to the wise means?
I told you the other day what I think that means.
Exactly. I know you did. I didn't tell the audience that you told me that. Now you're giving the game away. I wanted to see what they said.
Come on, folks. Let's hear what you think that means,
yeah.
or how you take that.
Can hardly hear him, says Dan Harris. Oh, Sean. Yeah, sometimes Sean's recordings sometimes can be quite low, and then they get loud. So don't panic. You probably got through there all right. Excellent video, excellent map, says Kerry Baldwin. Absolutely lovely. We like the homemade maps. It's got a real sort of homemade feel to it, which is great. Colonel Craig Ratty says, get the scissors out and make some short sleeves. Yes, but then in the winter when it's cooler and I want a long sleeve,
have long sleeve ones.
I'll have all short sleeves, you see. So John B says, Richard looks very professional. Yes, very professional. I look like I know what I'm doing. Remember? Vobes show, Richard, I've sent you an email of my flying helicopter lesson from Shoreham. Lord Jeffrey. Oh, Lord Jeffrey, have you indeed? I'm going to just double check. Oh, yeah, here we go. What is it? It's a YouTube video of Lord Jeffrey. Do you want to fancy watching Lord Jeffrey? I hope this is on his site and that it's not somebody else's, because we can't play that, but it does seem to be. So let me get full screen. Let me turn the adverts off. Let me turn the volume up. This might be a bit loud, so I'm just not browser, your browser, desktop audio. There we go. So let's have a look at this. I don't know how much of this you will see. Just stopping it there for a moment because I'm slightly worried. His hands are not actually on the steering wheel thing, whatever it is. I know it's not a steering wheel, but you know, one hand's obviously out in the. But there it is. Look, there's the bridge over the River Kwai at Shoreham, and various things. Interesting. Hang on. Anyway, it goes on like that for another 4 hours. So thank you very much indeed. That was fascinating. Sadly, moments later, he did actually crash to the ground and was never seen again.
That'd be silly.
Oh no, because he's actually out there, isn't he?
You said that was the River Kwai. I swear I thought that was Shoreham at first.
Yeah, it was Shoreham.
All right, you're just confusing me.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just confusing you. The bridge over the river.
Done, for goodness sake.
The River Ada. The River Ada, Shoreham and the River Ada. I just said the River Kwai because I just was doing a bit of humour.
Keeping us on our toes as always.
I know, I do my best.
I was just going, oh, look left. I mean, look right, look right, look right. I just wanted to see my house, but.
Oh, didn't go over your house.
No, who was that? Who was that?
That was Lord Jeffrey.
Lord Jeffrey. Oh my gosh!
Very nonchalant.
Seen you up in the sky.
We did see one moment. They was holding his thing like this, and holding the camera, very nonchalant, laughing away. And he said it's a lesson. You'd think it'd be terrifying. Going, but I was confused at the beginning because at the beginning he seemed to be as if he was coming into land. I thought he was like he was up in the air and he seemed to be coming down, and I thought, wait, that can't be a helicopter because helicopters land like that, don't they? They don't go.
Yeah.
They don't have wheels on the bottom like aeroplanes.
Well, they still have to follow the flight path into the airport.
Yeah.
But they land. Yeah.
But then he took off again. Anyway, I don't know. He flew for 10 minutes.
If it was a lesson, it might have been a practice.
He's saying here,
Right.
He flew for 10 minutes and then I had to go. Ah, right. Henry says that last time I was in a helicopter, I was in the Navy. Oh.
Love to learn to fly, but just don't have the time.
I was in the Army and the Navy. I went up there when you could go in the stores, the Army and Navy stores. They were great. You could buy yourself a nice coat and all of that sort of stuff.
Oh, that was a lovely video. Thank you. Apparently, I've been in a helicopter once.
Have you?
I was 3 years old, and it was in New York.
Ah,
And I don't really remember it.
told you the story of the father and daughter of the helicopter.
Yes, don't say it again. It's horrible.
Multitasking at its absolute finest, says John B. Jackie HW even, says, having just joined after finishing putting the food shopping away, and for a moment I thought Richard had put wings on his van. That's not a bad idea, is it? I wonder if he could get it off the ground. Not with the weight of the bloody wood that I've put in there, you won't get that off the ground. I can tell you.
By the way,
Yeah.
we have a couple of answers for the word to the wise conundrum.
Oh, good. Yes, word to the wise conundrum.
Yes, Colonel Cragratty says, word to the wise means to him giving a wise word to someone.
Right.
And Audrey Forbes Hamilton says, I take it to mean that if I tell you this, you'll be wiser.
Ah, right.
I kind of take it to mean you'll be wise to listen to my advice.
Ah, right. So I always thought it was like, here is a word I'm giving to a wise person for them to say, no, that's not right, because I know and you don't. But it makes more sense what you just said and what they just said. John B says, I can see Julia becoming a helicopter pilot. Is it the headphones and the headset? Is that what it is? Actually, if you do some flying effects, I'll do the sound.
It's a shame because all the equipment's over there. Just it's lumpy and I can't bring it over.
Yeah, just have to,
flight simulation over there.
Yeah, just pretend for a minute.
Wait, I want to be in a Chinook.
Oh,
That's better.
that's better. Good. Phew. There we go. Julia has recovered headset to begin helicopter pilot. Has the correct headset. Sorry, I can't read. Words I can't read.
I love it when you misread.
Yeah, do you? I misread all the time. There is a shortage of concrete and wood in London. What's the situation in Worthing, says Sean James Cameron. I have no idea. Concrete, who knows? Apropos of. I know when I went to buy my wood, there was not very much. There was a lot of bays in the shop that said out of stock, which was a nuisance because I was cooking that evening and I thought a nice chicken stock would go quite well, but they didn't have any of that. They just had this sort of pine stuff, and I don't know if you've tried cooking with pine, but it's not fine. So there we go. A Chinook flew over me earlier today, says Mark Burgess. When you say flew over you, I mean aeroplanes fly over me all the time, but they might be 30,000 feet. But when you say it like that, it's like they flew over you and nearly scraped your head. It's funny, isn't it? Not really. She says, not really. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just
Smiling and nodding.
I'm just making conversation. So, yeah, or at least trying. So, Julia, have you had a good day?
Not too bad. It's been long and it's been hot. Not that I want to complain about the hot.
No, but it can, if you're, doing chores. I was very excited doing my stuff, but it saps the energy, doesn't it? The old heat.
It does.
Saps out the energy, so much so that you start, oozing this sort of treacly stuff out of your skin. The sap. That is tree sap. Thanks. Veggrower podcast, gentleman Richard Suggett, says, as you said chicken stock, my chicken perked her head up. Yeah, but she was going, you're not making stock out of me, mate. I am no laughing stock or cooking stock. Bless. I had a chat, the lovely Richard Suggett, only this afternoon on his way home from work. He'd been in Port Slade. If I'd have known he was in Port Slade, I would have asked him to go to the nuts and bolt shop there, which is called Mavericks or something. Apparently lovely nuts and bolt shop, because I like nuts and bolts. I can bolt down some nuts at any time. Love them. I know I need some...
nice little snack in between meals.
Yes, I need some bolts for the van on the thing to weld things, to rent, to...
attach things.
Yes, exactly.
Secure things.
Secure things. A word to the wise is sufficient, meaning that a wise person will not need a long and detailed explanation, says Monsieur Le Gougal. Did you hear that?
What?
Oh, You didn't hear. I don't know whether anybody else heard that. My computer says, restart to install the latest Windows update. I don't want to.
Oh dear.
Restart, pick a time. Pick a time. 2030. How about that? No, not tomorrow. No, the 22nd of July. Is that the latest?
I don't know, but the Veg Grow podcast thinks that the nut and bolt shop doesn't exist anymore.
It does. I rang them up.
But you spoke to them the other day.
I rang them up only the other day. I was in Julia's garden having a tequila sunshine. Was it tequila sunrise? Sunrise. And there we were on the edge of her lovely, delightful pool. You know, the one with the infinity edge. And the flamencos going around us. Flamencos? Flamingos. And I was on the old blower. Geronimo Joe came over with the phone and said, "Sir, there is a phone call for you." I said, "Thank you, Geronimo Joe. Very kind of you." And it was Nuts and Bolts in Port Slade. They call themselves Maverick now, apparently. And I explained what I was after, and they went, I've not really heard of that, but bring your van in and try a umpteen bolts. We'll find it for you. So that was great. In 2030, says Lord Geoffrey Harrison, I'll be 36. That's true. Yes, in another, what is it now, 2021, 2022, 23, in 11 years, I will be 36. Good, isn't it? So they must have moved then, says the Veg Grower. They may well have moved, or it may be another nuts and bolts company. Perhaps what happened was that the original nuts and bolt company thought, sod this for a bunch of China, and sold up, and somebody else took it on and moved the shop to a more convenient place, or less convenient for parking, by the sounds of what they said. Parking's a bit rubbish round here. And, you know, set it up somewhere else. Who knows?
Who knows?
So there's a family of flamingos that live in a roof in High Street, Kensington. There is in High Street, Kensington.
Need photos.
Yes, there's a very exclusive top of the posh person's list of places to eat called the Roof Garden in Kensington. I don't know if it's in High Street, Kensington, in Kensington, and you can go on the roof, and it's got all these, you know, plants and trees and various things, and bees and not flamencos. But anyway, I've been there. I've performed.
Just imagining Spanish ladies dancing the dance on the roof.
Oh, I was thinking of the pink animals.
Yeah, that's a flamingo.
Oh, what's the other one?
Flamenco is the dance.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was thinking of the pink birds doing the dance.
I know. I'm just being a facetious moron.
No, don't be. No, that's fine. I think that anyway, I went on the roof. The roof garden is now closed.
Yeah, it sounds like a nice place.
Oh, it's probably because I did some fire eating in there and burnt the place down. That's where the flamencos. How do you say it?
Flamingo.
Flamingos. That's where the flamingos. Do they? They go there.
That's where the flaming goes.
Yes. Well, as a result of my fire eating. Dun tish. Oh dear, we do our flamenco guitar. LOLE.
Let's just make up some acronyms.
Yeah, let's just make them up. We don't care.
Whatever that word is.
Terry Banton says a customised Bold Explorer van could be a classic vehicle in years to come, worth more than the expensive wood. It certainly could if we could get enough viewers. If we could get, say, 4 viewers, it could go to auction and people could purchase it.
Sean James Cameron has just sent you an email of the flamingos.
Oh, has he?
Yes.
This is on the roof garden, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, hang on. This is.
Hey up.
I think Sean has just actually popped out there to have a look at them. So let's have a look ourselves. Let's get rid of the adverts. And I don't know how much of this you'll see, but we'll do our best.
I won't be spending any time on the allotment today. I'm going into central London because I've been invited to an RHS event where they're unveiling what they're doing over the next few months for the rest of the year.
Calling at Sloane Square, South Kensington, Gloucester Road, High Street Kensington, Notting Hill Gate, Bayswater, Paddington,
High Street Kensington and Paddington.
So where I'm going today is to the Kensington Roof Gardens. So all the way up there, 6 floors up in the air, that's where I'm off. And they've actually got flamingos in their pond up there. And if any of you watch The X Factor, you might be interested to know that in this building is also the office of Simon Cowell. It's actually where I used to go to the gym, because I used to work there at the Daily Mail just across the road. So this is what you find on the 6th floor of a building in central London. It's a huge place.
And just before we go on with that, I'm just pausing because that is absolutely identical to when I used to do the performance. I would juggle fire, walk on a bed of nails, lie on a bed of nails, walk on freshly broken glass, and entertain people in the evening as a fakir. Not a fake ear, a fakir. And that's not me swearing. But where are the flamencos? This is... Hang on, here we go. Let's get to the flamenco bit. Dun 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 dun. Olé! Da flamenco. Yeah, la 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 la.
In the trees somewhere.
La 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 la. Anyway, thank you very much. That's Sean James Cameron there. You can go and check that video out at a Tube of Views near you. Thank you for showing us that. That's so interesting because that is precisely the same place. How do I get out of this bloody... Oh, there we go. Where is it? I can't find it now. It's in an email. There we go. Send an email, richard@vobes.com. Yeah, what did you think of that then? Oh, that's not you. No, that's the wrong... There it is.
That was lovely, wasn't it? I wasn't sure whether to believe him, but yeah, can't not believe him.
Mustn't grumble. Mustn't grumble. Once they had a rugby team. Once they had a rugby team there who tried to throw them off the roof to see if they would fly, says Sean. That's the sort of thing that these rugby players do, isn't it? I thought football players were hooligans, but rugby players are obviously more hooligan than football players. So there you go.
Justine Jones says, hello, I'm in the pub.
Who's that?
Justine Jones.
In the pub?
In the pub.
In the pub? What are you drinking? What's your drink? Daily Walker says the Walkie-Talkie building in London has a roof garden, restaurant and a bar open to the public. The Walkie-Talkie, what is that then? Is that the place that sells, like Motorola?
Okay, it's testing a bit. Can you, any chance you can get that car moved at the end of the channel? We've been trying to make a video here. Thank you. This is one small step for man and one giant leap off onion.
Off an onion? Apparently that is...
Wasn't expecting that.
No, that is Oliver Armstrong. What was his name? Edward Armstrong. Tony Arms. What was the bloke? The man who stepped on the moon and...
it's gone completely out of my head because you said a million names.
Yes. Bobby Ewing. No, it wasn't Bobby Ewing. What was his name?
Buzz Armstrong. No,
Buzz Armstrong. That's the one.
No. Neil Armstrong.
Neil.
Thank you, John B.
And he took the knee. He kneeled on. He took the knee when he was on the moon. And he didn't give it back. And that's why if you go to the moon today, you'll never find a knee because he took it. There was only one knee up there. He said, "What's this? It's a knee. Oh, I'm having that." If you need a spare knee, talk to footballers. Apparently they keep taking them. I don't know where knees go. Maybe it's the knobbly knee shop. They get a lot of knobbly knee. Yeah, maybe.
What about the bee's knees shop?
Oh, the bee's knee. Too small. Too small for footballers. Anyway, Ernie Sammett says...
Buzz Aldrin, wasn't I?
Club country. What does that mean? Club country.
I don't know. I didn't see that comment. Oh, there.
Yeah, club country. Flamenco, flamenco is a dance, says Terry Bandon. Yes, I think you said that, didn't you, Julia?
Yes.
Yeah, isn't that? That's why I went. Are they doing the flamenco there, or it's more of that? That's the sort of Spanishy thing. I'm not very good at Spain. Hola.
Spanishy music, I guess.
What's your favourite Spanish song? Who sung that song, Spanish Eyes?
I have no idea.
Hey, Spanish eyes, I just despise. I'll poke you up the nose and clasp you in the thighs, then look into your Spanish eyes. It doesn't go like that, actually, and they weren't the words. I may have made that up.
Yeah, you may have.
Yeah. Neil Armstrong refused to take the knee, did he? So how did he get up to the moon then? I mean, did he just have his leg lopped off from below the thigh and he just went on one leg? Well, both. Were they artificial legs? Hence, when he set up one small step, no wonder it was small, because he could barely get his little stumpy legs going because they had no knee to attack. Is he like the friend of the man with no neck? Yeah. Maybe they'll be taking the neck soon. Be better if they took the Michael. Sean James Cameron says when they opened the walkie-talkie video, what is this walkie-talkie shop place? I don't understand it. When they opened the walkie-talkie video, the sun was reflected back into the street and was melting car bonnets, and you could fry eggs on the pavement. What are you talking about? What is this walkie-talkie? By the way, we do have a phone line, 07934... Hang on a minute, I've got a sting for this. And even that's not working. Bloody hell, it's going very... Oh, there we go. And that's not the sting I meant to play either. Now... Oh, there we go. Whatever. Can't be bothered with the finessing of the show. Oh, there's my email, by the way. That's the wrong sodding button. We got another video to play
tonight.
Yeah, we've got another 30 minutes to stumble through, and then the weekend is in front of us. Oh, joy!
I've got a little bit of a gallery bit.
Oh yes, of course you do. You do. What was that? I heard a little munchkin.
Children.
Oh, children. Right, yes, let's go to your bit. We'll play the video in short. Sorry, Colonel Cragratty, we are coming to your video, but I'm just trying to pace myself. Ernie says in 1982, the band called The Associates filmed their single in the club country on the rooftop. I've sent you the link. Oh, right, okay. Sorry, I didn't understand what you meant. Dale, walkie-talkie building. Oh, it's a building shaped like a walkie-talkie. I thought it was like a private country club for a minute. Here's a picture. Here's a phone call from an unknown caller. Hello, unknown caller. That be you? Are you there? Clearly
silent caller.
Silent caller, even better. We like the silent callers. How do I get back to that? There we are. Somebody who rang has rang off. Never mind.
That's a shame because I need to pop off for a second.
Okay. You pop off, and when you come back, we'll do the pictures.
Awesome.
We have the caller again. Hello, caller. Maybe I'm ditching the call. I might be accidentally ditching the call because I'm trying to work this fangled phone that always has. I don't know. It's a lovely phone. You missed a phone call at... Yes, I know that, but I don't know who you are. Right, here we go. I'll try it one more time. Why won't you sodding work? Here we go. Hello, caller?
Hello, Sean from London. You keep on ditching the call.
Oh, is that me?
Yeah.
This telephone, donated by the lovely G-Ramps. Nothing but bloody issues with it. It's a Huawei Chinese thing.
Oh, well, you're probably being tracked.
Yes, probably. It's probably that's why they keep ditching the call. Hang on a minute. But I can't understand how this thing works. There we go. It's just been one of those days. I've been out too long in the sun. I think I've been frazzled. Talk to me, Sean James Cameron.
You've got a black top in a black van.
Yes. What do you expect? A black tan? I'll be taking a knee next. Right, go on. Fire.
The walkie-talkie building.
Yes.
The building in the city of London that when viewed from the river looks like a walkie-talkie.
Right. I didn't know that. Didn't even know it existed.
And when it opened in September 2013, it opened with great fanfare. And then for the next week, we had brilliant sunshine. And they realized that up on the curve of the walkie-talkie building, it was reflecting the sun back into the street on the Cheapside.
Oh, right.
And somebody called Martin Lindsay had parked his Jaguar on the Cheapside. And when he came out after doing his job in the afternoon, the bonnet had melted and buckled. And it was because of the sun bouncing off the building.
And if he'd parked his car on the expensive side, presumably that wouldn't have happened.
Well, exactly. So they sent the news reporter there, and he fried an egg on the pavement in the shadow of this building, and he had a perfectly good egg.
Good God. Well, there's how exciting is that? So it just goes to show if you mirror the sun on a big enough thing, you can actually get more heat than you need.
Yes.
Gosh, how about that?
And it cost him about £1,000 to get his car fixed.
And did it cost Dale? Oh yeah, Tuesday. I think that was the video. I just looked at the walkie-talkie, or the picture. Thank you very much. Dale sent that picture in the walkie-talkie. I'd never heard of the walkie-talkie. I thought it was a club or something like, or a Motorola shop.
So what they had to do was on this building that costs millions of pounds, billions. They had to put a sunshade on the one side.
Oh, I see.
So when it gets really sunny, the sunshade comes down so that it doesn't
melt more cars. Gosh, I mean, if it can melt a car's bonnet, think what it could do to a bald head.
Wow. Well, it's the top of that building that they've now turned into a garden, and there's a bar there, and you can go for your breakfast bar, your dinner bar, but you've got a book. You can't just turn up there. You've got to.
I've got loads. Fortunately, I've got loads of books, and I always put a book in the van, so I'd have a book.
Well, you'll be able to get in then.
Yeah.
But if you ever go there, take the camera and do a bit of filming, because apparently, if they see you and you look as if you're filming a video for YouTube, I've heard on the QT, they'll
let you
clear
in.
the building.
Blimey, they'll clear the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pay a bean.
Look at that. We're looking at views from the top. I don't know whether this is the top of the walkie-talkie building. Look at London there now. It's so chock-a-block with all this glass and steel. I know some people like all that. It's frightening to me because this is what's expanding everywhere. And then the beauty of Tower Bridge on the left of the screen here is just disappeared. You know, the beauty of that wonderful.
Well, you won't be able to see it in that picture you've got there, but there's a new building now up by Blackfriars Station, and that's almost as big as, or possibly even bigger than the walkie-talkie building.
Good God, I am not a fan of these buildings myself. Look at that metropolis of London. Look at it. It's just a concrete jungle, isn't it?
Well, I've been in London 16 years now, and I think I've got that point where I can start to remember streets that looked completely different when I first came here.
Yeah.
Where, like, there's a street by Leicester Square where during the lockdown, they've completely demolished this entire street, and they've built something else up.
And people throng to these cities to live in a place that's full of so much pollution and such intensity of people. Never in the history of man. Sorry, I need to put reverb on there. Never in the history of man had people been so tightly packed together as if in sardine cans under a microscope. All it needs is Jeff Wayne to go bomb, 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 da da dum, da da da. Oh, it's probably copyright. Oh dear, oh dear.
And also, it's even hotter in the centre than it is on so today's been 23 in central London. I wouldn't be surprised if it was probably 28 to 30.
Good God.
Because of all the buildings.
Oh my God, here's another, look at this thing sticking up. What's this? You might not get it, people will be able to tell me. Is that the Shard? Is this a sort of weird triangular?
Yeah,
oh my God,
Shard.
how, I mean, I haven't been to London for ages, but my God, look at it. It's
Well,
just
that's the
so
Shard, and
hideous.
It's about £20 and you can go up to the top and see the view. But there are 2 lifts there. So you go up halfway, then you have to get out and change, and then you go on the other lift to go to the very top. But it takes half an hour to get up there.
God, blimey.
Like my friend did, he paid extra to go up there to go and see the sun setting. And by the time he got up there, the sun had gone.
My God, imagine if you've got to clean those windows.
Well,
George Formby would have to have a field day there, wouldn't he? When I'm cleaning windows, I climb her up to the Shard. Never thought it'd be so hard. Let's get into the top when I'm cleaning windows. Sorry.
Well, if you go right to the top,
yeah,
because Philip Schofield was the first one to abseil down it.
Will he?
Because I was working at ITV at the time, so we had a chance to go in there the day before it was officially launched. But a couple of months ago, and it was on the news, but it was suppressed because they didn't want to encourage people. A YouTuber got up to the top and jumped off and
died.
Paraglided down to the street and
and died.
No, perfectly fine. He just landed in the street.
Sorry, hang on. Sorry, he jumped off the top
with a parachute.
Oh, okay. He didn't just jump.
He glided down into the street,
right,
and jumped into the back of a van, and just drove off. And then, for some reason, then put it onto YouTube and put his face up there. So I don't know why they jumped in the van and just ran off at the end.
Yeah, because presumably they came and arrested him. Oh my God!
No, I don't think they did. They just told him, "Look, just go away." But
don't do it again.
But it was on the news for once, and then it was suppressed because they didn't want to encourage people to go up there. Because we had a spate about 3 years ago of YouTubers that were standing on top of the trains and jumping off the trains as they were going into Canary Wharf for their YouTube videos.
And what? And surviving?
Yeah.
What were they on the roof? Are they on the roof of the train?
Yes.
And they would jump.
They managed to get up onto the roof of the train,
right.
And as it went over the river by Canary Wharf, they just jumped off.
Oh, they jump off.
These are the people that, for fun, will climb up to the top of the Shard without any ropes on and just stand there for a picture.
How many viewers do they get?
Oh, hundreds of thousands.
I might have to do that just to get my viewing figures up. Can't be that difficult, can it? Excuse me.
You could be on the top of your van.
I'll drive the van up there. There was a comment that I must read out here that John B says no privacy in the toilets because it's all
windows.
They have
these windows that you when you go in and you sit down, it goes frosted.
Really? So you go in, and there you are, looking in, and you can see the loo, but when you go in, it automatically frosts by some digital sensor, which will go wrong at some point, and it won't go frosted.
The frosting goes on when you lift up the toilet seat.
So if you're somebody who unzips your thing and flops out your what's-it, and then lift up the toilet seat, it's like you notice just as you go to lift up the toilets, everyone's looking at you. I mean, you wouldn't know if they fitted one-way mirrors in a place like that, would you? You think you can just see yourself. Meanwhile, everybody else is having a good old laugh.
Do you remember when those toilets first came out, where you paid your 10p and you went inside, and while you're sat down doing your business, the door would just swing open.
Yeah, because that's right. And they would wash it, wouldn't they? They would be this. And if you stayed in there too long, you had to get out because the whole thing would fill up with water and foam.
I've just sent you an email of somebody, I don't know why they do it. He stood on top of the shard without any safety equipment whatsoever in a pair of trainers. I've just sent you the still picture because I didn't want you to play the video, but just in case,
I'm just looking now. It's not arrived.
But, you've got to think. You've got to do these things to get the views.
You've got to... But anyway, going back to the view of the place and all of this, I find it abhorrent. Absolutely abhorrent. Julia's back. Let's get Julia back in on the show.
But what's quite shocking is at the end of my street, which is like only a small little suburb, they want to tear down a 17th century pub and put up a 20-story block of flats.
There is a Georgian warehouse very close to where I'm pointing. You can't see it. And they have just decided to pull that down. It was leaning a bit. And there's going to be a space there. And it's close to my house where the lane is, where we have parking issues. And I know they're going to put in flats. Perhaps 6 flats will go in there with possibly 8 cars, because somebody will have 2. 2 of those people will have 2 cars and everybody else will have 1 car. So there'll be 8 more cars trying to park in my space, the swines. Julia, hang on, Sean. Yeah. Julia.
Yes.
What did you see those views of London?
Yes.
What did you think?
Yes. Big urban.
It's an urban sprawl, isn't it? And it just seems to be creeping ever closer to us with all these new builds and things. And people just roll their eyes whenever I mention this and think that I'm being...
They do call Brighton Lower London or something, don't they?
Yeah, Brighton by the sea, Lighton.
So well, an architect friend told me that they don't have to provide spaces for cars now. They can just build the building.
Yeah, I mean, one of the excuses that we had with the flats that are built again near me, because I live near the station, and it was questioned where will they park, and the council said they won't need to park. They won't need any cars because the station is less than 5-minute walk. It's like not everybody goes on the train, and the train don't go up to everywhere you want to go. And then half the time the trains aren't bloody running because it's the wrong leaves on the line. It is Brighton has been London by the sea for years, says Jackie. It's true, and it's getting more like joined up to London and joined east and west. I mean, Brighton now, apart from Goring Gap, is pretty much Brighton to Worthing. You've got a bit of Goring Gap, and then you're on pretty much all the way to Bognor, and you're pretty much on all the way to Chichester. It's like there's barely any bits of green along the coast. And where there is, people have bought it. And that's what I found out doing this Sussex Border Walk. The amount of private parts of it's been bought up, and it's just despicable, and I'm fed up with it. Fed up!
Well, what people that I know that would go to Brighton for the weekend have now said don't go to Brighton, they go down to Worthing. So Worthing in 10 years' time will be the same as Brighton.
They're
Brighton
moving. The people in Brighton can't afford to stay in Brighton, so they're moving west. The people in Worthing can't afford to stay in Worthing, so they're moving west. They're all going to Mr. Suggett's place in Littlehampton.
Move over, Suggett.
And the rest of them will end up in the River Arun.
See if that picture's come through of that guy on top.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. Oh, yeah, here we go. Thank you very much. Here is the picture of...
enough to make your stomach churn.
Yes, I mean, you had to know that is where he is. Actually, my stomach is churning. Prepare yourself. Here he is. The boy who climbed the shard. He doesn't look worried, does he?
I don't understand base jumping. I really don't understand it.
Base? Is that what it's called? Base jumping?
Is he actually going to jump off that? Or is he just one of those that just goes up and stands up on a high spot and then climbs down again?
Yes.
Right. I don't know what they're called, but...
But that got 1.5 million views. So you want to get down to Worthing Pier tomorrow, Richard, and get up on top of there.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to be much, is it? They might get one extra view.
No, but you could do it. You could do it on a green screen, and nobody would know.
How do we know he didn't do it on a green screen? Anyway, we better move on. Thank you, Sean. Thank you for the flamencos and all the Spanish dancing. It was great.
Ole!
Ole! Take care, matey. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Sean James Cameron, who I cut off umpteen times. I apologise for that. We've got Colonel Craig Ratty coming up any second now, but quickly, let's have a quick look at the comments. Anything interesting there?
Yes, Lord Geoffrey Harrison says, I know a lovely place to park in Worthing, next to a big wall with a car with the logs around it.
Ah. Yes, thanks for that. Yeah, big wall. Elaine says, probably full of cannabis. What is full of cannabis? And Richard climbing the Shard. Can't see Richard climbing the Shard. No, I had trouble climbing that rock that was about 30 feet off the ground with Mark Selwood down in Cornwall.
Jen Colley says they are cancelling trains constantly at the moment because they have no drivers.
Yeah, I expect the drivers have all been pinged by this stupid app that's now pinging more people than have downloaded the thing. And lots of people are actually deleting it. It just seems a waste of space. Somebody who's not a waste of space but who loves to climb through space, see what I did there? Is Colonel Craig Ratty. And he has been climbing the walls, watching this show, waiting for us to play his video, in Cornwall. Talking of Cornwall and old Selwood down there. So let's go and have a look. That's not the one. This is the one.
Slippery here. Abort, mate. Oh. Where's the gear?
It's on the sling.
Oh, right, okay. Good lead though.
Yeah,
That's
much more
nice than you.
straightforward than yesterday.
Yeah.
You attempted to go round to the left at the bottom as well, because there's that line of holes. That
Well, I thought you went round the left and then in, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, yeah, I don't know there. No. Right, safe.
Marvellous stuff. Thank you so much. There we are. We were up 1 minute. We were up the top of the Shard. The second minute, we were up those wonderful rock faces up in Cornwall. Brilliant stuff. Thanks very much. Now, Julia, we're rushing to the end of the show. Meant to do this earlier, and I know you've had issues with the old kiddywinks. You've sent in some amazing art. Let's just pop into the art gallery. Hang on, I have to do this. Oh, there you go. And this is spectacular, I can tell you. Tell us, first of all, what we're going to see, Julia.
Well, this is my friend who... sorry, bear with me. Let me get my notes. Because I forgot I sent you the email and didn't keep the note myself. There we go. Yeah, I mean, she's a very lovely friend of mine who I met doing the mum thing at a stay and play when Elijah was little. And... yeah, and during, let me get hair out of my face. During lockdown, she started doing watercolor art, and I think she was doing online tutorials and stuff like that. Yes, and I've been watching her, and she's, you know, her style has been, you know, really coming out, and I absolutely love her work. I mean, oh, look at that watermelon though, juicy. Looks tasty,
isn't it? Yeah, and it's
just
great.
want to reach into the page and take it out and eat it.
Watercolor on a watermelon, isn't that clever?
And I think she's using just like an ink pen just to outline here and there.
So what's her name?
Her name's Victoria Peskova. She calls well, she and her family call her Vika.
Vika.
Yeah, I love that one. Not just because of the colours. The gorgeous trees and landscapes. I love the way she portrays water as well. She does a very good of that. Cup of tea.
Oh.
How can you not like that one?
Very, very lovely.
And the beautiful water.
And the colours are so vibrant, aren't they? They're very vibrant. They jumps out the page at you.
Absolutely. Now, she says she's always painted as long as she can remember, and then the routine with children stopped the process. A lot of stress for the last couple of years and a lot of new emotions. She found a new love, and she remembered what it was like to what it was that she likes to do apart from raising her children. And then for her last birthday, she received enough money to buy. She received a fair bit of money, and she bought some watercolors for the children. And that's how she got her first set of watercolors. A gorgeous owl.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, such a talent. You know, where do you start to learn to draw? This is what baffles me. I tried drawing, but when painting and stuff, when you see things like this, you just think, no,
I love the wibbly wobbly reflection on that one.
There is nothing I could do to get to that level.
No, I think you could though. I think you could. It's just keep doing it, and maybe watch a couple of YouTube videos on how to use watercolor and how to get the best out of it.
I did. Yeah.
This is one of my favorites, by the way.
Isn't that
This
lovely?
bumblebee. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Does she sell any of this?
She does do commissions, I believe.
Oh, brilliant.
This wave reminds me very much of a Japanese painting. I think it's Japanese. But yeah, just the way the water breaks up the top there, at the top of the wave. I love it. It's full of movement.
It takes an item like that, a simple lamp outside your house, and then you frame it in that way, and just looks really gorgeous, doesn't it? You can see.
Yeah. I mean, I love seeing bits of ironworks like this out and about anyway, but just the way she's captured it was lovely. It's a very cute horse, isn't it?
So that to me looks like one of those hobby horses. You know those hobby horses? If you had the stick that you could, because it's sort of almost a toy.
Yeah, it's very cutesy, isn't it?
Yeah. Is that the last one? I think that's the last
I think so,
one.
yeah. I just love her style. I think, I've watched as her technique has come along, and not that she wasn't good to start with, she was, but I just love it.
But people like that, I imagine. Oh, here we go. Here's sorry, we missed this one out. People like that, I imagine, just started when they were kids, and just was doodling and drawing, and just slowly got better. And was that kid next to you who could always draw brilliantly, and you'd look at them and go, and they go, "Oh, I'm just doodling," and you think, "Oh my God, how."
I wish I could just doodle like that.
Yeah, so lucky. Gosh, yeah. To be able to draw like that would be so satisfying.
You can see why she's quite prolific.
I often, when I was thinking of the Bald Explorer dailies, I was thinking of, I saw somebody who went out on a YouTube channel, and they went somewhere, and then they were talking about painting. And they went somewhere and they painted the place, and I thought, well, that would be great for the Bald Explorers, that you go for a walk and you find the scene and you paint it, and then you offer it to somebody who would like to buy it from that video. But you'd have to be good. I mean, mine would just be crap. No one would want it. But there you are.
Your drawing has a certain style to it.
Yeah, like a kiddie style, a really naff style. Colonel Quagrati says, I tend to use watercolour quite thick, so I get the colour density rather than in a wash. You can also use gouache, which we learnt from Andrew Norris, gouache, water-based paint, which is richer in colour.
Oh, Emily Champion says, I will take some pictures of my daughter's art. It's amazing. Cool, that'd be great to see.
Yeah, do. Yeah, that would be fantastic. Send them in. Or bring them. Bring a couple down. When you come,
yes.
I mean, you don't want to damage them and all of that.
Next week?
28th, whenever that is, the 28th. Japanese.
Which is the week after.
Yeah, some very talented people. Don't knock London too much, says Ray of Hope. The value of London is the same as Scotland, Ireland and Wales put together. When you say the value, do you mean in money? I had a very nice email from Ray, by the way, who was offering, like Colonel Quagrati, his workshop and his tools and everything. And big thanks to John Fox, who also said he'd lend me his circular saw. He said, you need your legs chopped off, I can do it for you. Which is charming. A lot of people have been very, very, very generous and kind. And to Ed, you know who you are, who made a very nice donation also earlier today. Thank you very much. People have been absolutely fantastic. Couple of weeks, says Emily Champion, for her trip down.
A week on Wednesday, basically.
Yeah. So there we go. Sean James Cameron sums it up, really. He says, I have all the watercolour equipment, but just can't do anything other than a couple of colourful squares. Exactly. That's about it. All I can manage.
That can be satisfying enough,
Well, it can.
It's using it as a therapy for yourself.
That's true. Tomorrow I've got to varnish a floor, so I should be painting in some fashion.
I really wish I could come and help you, but unfortunately...
Sunday? Oh, no, we're doing a walk. Yeah. We're doing a walk around the farmer's fields with Lee Dallin on the farm.
Farmer Lee.
So if you want to come along, you better hurry up and get your act...
Pardon you?
Sorry about that. It was a whiffy, wasn't it? Lord Jeffrey says, I can't wait
Glad
for
I'm
next
over
week
here.
when the van will be finished. Yes, I can't wait for it to be finished myself. But anyway, that's about it this week, ladies and gentlemen, for the Vobe shows. Thank you very much for being a marvellous audience, and thank you for sending in your videos, particularly Sean Ford, beg your pardon, for the Discovery Walk, and Colonel Craig Ratty for his clambering up in Cornwall.
Henry V. Agincourt wants to just double check that you're going to paint both sides of the wood, Richard.
Oh yes, I don't want it to de-escalate or whatever it's called.
Delaminate.
Delaminate. There we go. I knew there's a technical term for
It's
it.
where it peels.
Oh, I see. So laminate. When you get these, these, and they say they've laminated it and it's encapsulated in plastic. There's a good word, encapsulate. And they call it laminating. That's because it's been two stuff have been stuck together. That's the laminate, presumably. So delaminating is when it comes unstuck.
Yeah, because no, there's MDF and then there's because plywood is it's basically lots of layers of wood, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because MDF is broken wood, been crushed, compressed.
Yeah.
But no plywood. Yeah, so plywood, if it gets moist without being treated, it starts to separate.
Yes, or delaminate.
Yeah, or delaminate.
Funny, here's a word for you to think about. I was writing something down earlier today, or yesterday, and I wrote the word pre-recorded. I was talking about something that had been pre-recorded. I don't know what it was, can't remember now, and I said pre-recorded, and I thought, or just recorded will do. Because what does pre-record have over recorded?
Yeah, I don't know, it's a funny one.
It's just the same as flammable and inflammable. Words that mean exactly the same, and yet it was pre-recorded, that video. Oh, was it? You mean it was recorded? They're the same thing, aren't they? Anyway, thought I'd mention that. I love those little anomalies with the English language. Glued together. Is that what laminate means? I always thought it meant...
No, because laminate is something to do with the lots of things all in the same line.
Oh, like in a linear...
It's a very rubbish way of explaining it. Kind of, yeah.
Laminate is a thin layer on top. Right.
Well, that's when you're plasticating, laminating.
Yeah. Something. So delaminate is when the tops are coming apart. I was just thinking, why is it called delaminate? Because laminate...
Because laminate is when it's all in line like that. So delaminating is when it's separating and coming apart.
Right. So John B says pre-recorded and recorded are both past tense. I agree, exactly. It is a useless term. And there's another one that isn't there. Is it extinguish and I can't remember. Pre. You don't need the word pre on a lot of it's extinct. Prehistory. Well, it's history, isn't it? Doesn't laminate have a plastic coating? So that's what I always thought laminate was the plastic thing, but it's obviously just the fact that it's a layer, whatever material it is. Anyway, we're getting a little bit too technical now. Delaminate means laminate layer is coming away. Yeah, that makes sense. It's not laminated anymore. Brilliant. I like OBS wood, says Sean James Cameron. Not quite sure what he means by that.
I had muted myself somehow. I don't know why, but laminate means 1, to cover with a thin sheet of material as for preservation. 2, to beat or compress metal into a thin plate or sheet. 3, to divide into thin layers. Or 4, to make by uniting several layers.
Ah, they are. Pre-order. Oh yes, pre-order is another one. You could buy this pre-ordered. Well, or you could order it. What's the difference? I love it, because the one that I always find funny is when you get these people ringing up and saying, you can have, if you order today, you get a free gift. And you go, well, it's a gift. You don't have to say it's free. It's a gift. Isn't a gift free by default? Oh, yeah. So I always think that's hilarious. Or the other thing is you can have a free quote. It's like, who's going to pay for a quote? If you said, oh, we'll do your windows and doors, and the quote would be £10, it's like, who gives you a quote? It's ridiculous. John Fox says you can get boil-proof plywood, which is less likely to delaminate. Boil-proof? Who boils their plywood? Anyway, I think we've gone enough in all of that.
Yeah.
We are 7 minutes overdue, for the weekend has started, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sure there's a football match that people are desperate to go and look at. So we will say arrivederci. Thank you so much for watching. Wonderful to have the lovely Judith moderating out there, the lovely Julia guesting, and Sean James Cameron calling for the videos I've already mentioned, and to you lot out there tapping away on your keyboards or on your screens, or however you do it by mental transference often. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. And
Massive thank you to Vicar for letting me show off her work.
oh yes, we must all pray to the vicar. She does a great service. I should be taking my van in there later on, because I hear she does a good service.
And thank you to Richard for putting it all together.
Yes, brilliant. Well, thank you. It's my pleasure. It's what I do. So, have a wonderful weekend. Thanks so much. Take care, one and all. And arrivederci. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.